Let's get into it, man. My man here, as we get ready to wrap this thing up, man, he was supposed to come in the early hour, but I've been meaning to have this guy on forever. Again, he's a business associate, man. He's a constituent and all that, man. He's a good friend from long ago. We go back. He's a competitor, man, and all of this, man. And I don't know what to say, man. One of the coolest cats you'll ever meet, period, in any way. You know what I'm saying? So just a good brother all around, but he is an entrepreneur. Dare I say savant, as it were, man. A couple clothing lines to speak of, but we're going to start off with one right now because he's got a TV show right now that's burning up the interwebs and such, and our TV network called Savvy Television. We certainly appreciate having their contribution and their platform on our platform. He is none other than Mr. Mike Perdue. Mike, good morning to you, brother. Thank you, man. I'm sorry we're a little late, man, but I appreciate you jumping on this morning, man. I know your off days is tough to track you down, man, but we got you, brother. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate you having me on. You know, both of y'all appreciate that. Appreciate the love. I check the show out all the time, so I was more than honored to jump on for sure.
Oh man, no doubt, brother. And again, man, Mike, just to kind of kick in, man. Now you're a sports guy and all that, man. But before I do that, let's talk about lead from the front for a little bit. As a matter of fact, let me go back before that. If you could give the people some background on your business efforts, because you came down. I mean, I could tell them your whole history, man. I could go all the way back to the ice block cooler and all that. I could go for the let me do this. As a matter of fact, Mike, yeah, I'm going. Yeah, right, Russ. Get this. This was for Russ. This for Russ. Now, Russ, we used to have a semi-pro team, an ABA team. I don't even want to say semi-pro. This is Jackie Moon them style. We had ABA going on. San Antonio Spurs situation, right? Type of lineage. We had it here in Toledo, Russ, called the Toledo Ice, and this man was the owner of that collection, and we got a season in, Russ. It was serious. We did it out at the Seagate, man. He had the floor, all of it, man. The boy was serious, man. So I got to take it back there. Yeah.
Just a quick fun fact, Toledo fact. The floor that they use for like the Pistons preseason games down at the Huntington, that's the floor that I purchased from the University of Temple, from the McCary Center. To play our games down at the Seagate Center. So that's a quick little fun fact.
So how does that work with like purchasing a floor? You have to get it like shipped in pieces? You have to get it set up? Like how does that all work?
Yeah, so we had to get it shipped in pieces for sure. So it came on a truck. It was just kind of actually lucky how it happened. I was looking for a floor. I contacted some places, and they said, hey, we just sold Temple a floor. You know, they're just looking to get rid of their other floor. So I called them immediately, got a good price, and, you know, I had it shipped right here to Toledo.
We're talking to Mike Perdue here on the line right now, owner and operator of Lead from the Front television show, the clothing line, Three Kings clothing line. Again, former owner of the Toledo Ice. Again, our professional basketball team, men's, that we had in our city. Again, people, do some of your history stuff. You need to get some facts and check them. But again, this man has been instrumental in terms of his contributions to our community. So, Mike, again, man, with that, I know, like I said, you're a sports guy. Let me do this with you real quick. Give me your impressions, man, on the bubble. I mean, you know, I know you're a basketball man. I told him you was a former Rogers man, played for Schroeder, all that, played with Rashawn Johnson, all these guys, man, and all of that, man. So you're a true basketball head. What's your thoughts on it, man? Because Butler said he didn't like it. You heard Butler a minute ago. He said he didn't like it.
Yeah. So my thing is, I like it because, you know, as a lot of us, we were waiting for basketball to come back.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm a basketball head. I played basketball all the way through college, so I'm loving it, and I'm loving like the renewed spirit that you're getting from people, because I think we may see two teams that we didn't have no, you know, thoughts on being in the championship. We may see that.
Right.
The bubble looks different. People are out. You know, I think a lot of people might be happy Phoenix didn't get in the bubble. You know. And as a Laker fan, I'm not really all that excited about being Portland in the first round.
Yeah, we're not that hype. I'm glad you said that. Let's go right there. Then again, we're talking to Mike Perdue here. Again, owner and operator of Lead from the Front and Three Kings Clothing. Mike, listen, man, you said it. As a Laker fan, I'm not that hype. Now, this is what I'm thinking. I'm going to tell you the truth. This is what I'm thinking in the back of my mind. I told my brother this the other day, and I said what I really believe in my heart of hearts. I think that, again, because I'm going to give LeBron more credit than I think most people do in terms of his cerebral approach to things and the fact that, again, he is a next level talent in many respects. And I feel like LeBron has another gear here that's getting ready to ensue, right? And that we have not really seen this year or since the bubble has been implemented, we hadn't seen from Brother James or from King James. And I think we're getting ready to get into something like that. When we see these Lakers again, I don't think it's going to be as lethargic looking as it has been. And I think you're going to see something a little bit more downhill. I don't know if you agree, but call it silly optimism on my part, but that's where I'm at right now because I don't want to believe what I've been seeing.
I think LeBron's seasoned enough to know that, you know, the bubble was just kind of the beginning stages was just kind of the, you know, feeling, getting your feet wet. When the playoffs start, he'll be ready to go. And I mean, they have some guys that have a lot of playoff experience. You know, Danny Green. You know, you got a bunch of other guys that Quinn Cook even has a championship. So I mean, they got guys that have been there. But at the same time, you know, I think that everybody has to hit that gear. They got to hit that switch with LeBron. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, they're not going to have that one series to kind of just play around and get ready. They're going to have to be ready against Portland.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. There's no chance these Portland Trailblazers team does any damage to the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round. I would be shocked.
Really?
If
Russ, you feel like
the
they
Blazers win more than one game,
really? You
I
don't
would
give them
be
6?
shocked. I would actually be floored. This Portland Trailblazers team has had to play 8 hard-fought,
you said they out of gas.
contested games.
I like where you're going. Okay.
Damian Lillard's averaging close to 40 minutes per game. C.J. McCollum's got a broken bone in his back right now. Who knows what that's going to feel like after 3 days off if they do end up dispatching the Grizzlies today in a game in which they're 6-point favorites. So when you talk about playing that many games, being as terrible as they are on defense, they have the 3rd worst defensive rating in the bubble so far, giving up close to 120 points per 100 possessions. And when you think about the Lakers on the flip side, who have the 3rd worst offense in the bubble right now, scoring 104.5 points per 100 possessions, that's going to be just what the doctor ordered for LeBron James and the Lakers to get that offense right. They have absolutely no one. They're the least equipped team in the NBA to guard LeBron James first and foremost, and also Anthony Davis. We know what Davis did to this Blazers team just 2 years ago, beat them as a 6th seed with the New Orleans Pelicans in a sweeping fashion. I love the story that the Blazers have concocted in this bubble, but I just don't see it, guys. I get it that the guard play is going to prove some issues here and there for the Lakers, but there's just too much firepower and too much defensive acumen from LeBron James and the Lakers team, a team in which I think has slowly and methodically sleptwalked their way through these seeding games to try to get their feet back underneath them, as opposed to ramping up and trying to win every single game just to win.
Right. I think that was done purposely. But I don't believe that Portland will win the series. But I believe that they'll be a threat enough because of that guard play you mentioned. That's going to be an issue. That's going to be it may not show its head in this series, but it's definitely going to show its head in the playoffs. The Lakers guard play, specifically defensively. I mean, losing Avery Bradley was huge. I mean, especially when you replace him with an older J.R. Smith who doesn't really get after it on defense like he used to, and Deion Waiters who really doesn't have any interest in getting after it on defense at all.
You said that when we were talking to Mike Purdue, owner and operator of Three Kings Clothing and Lead from the Front, the TV show. And he said, I'm out. And Mike said, I don't want to be heard from. And we got to hit Mike back. We got to call him back. We still got him, or did it come?
The old call dropped, right?
Man, look at that, Russ. See, this is doggone technological advancements we got here in the studio. We got to get Mike back on the line, man. We had Mike Purdue in here, but again, as Mike was saying, he thinks that it was done relatively intentional, and that's kind of the train that I'm on with regard to LeBron giving you just a little dose of what you are used to seeing until it's time to unleash what you're going to see. And so we got him back. Mike is back. Mike, sorry about that, man. Again, we got this. We got some fly studio stuff going on here. I'm gonna just leave it at that, man. But again, so let me get back to you, brother. Talk to me real quick, though, about Lead from the Front and what that's about, because I keep talking about this TV show. And, again, I know while you're here, I definitely want you to promote that. As much as I love to talk sports with you, you and I do that all the time anyway. But talk to the people, man. Let them know where you're at with that, man, that you're an entrepreneurial czar.
We working towards that. We definitely leading from the front in that aspect. But Lead from the Front is something that I kind of, thought of while I was doing Three Kings Clothing. Three Kings Clothing is a brand that I've had for 4 years now with my two partners. And, I was kind of meeting all these other business owners and having meetings with people and hearing their stories. And I just said, hey, I need to capture that. I need to capture that for other people who have ideas about starting a business, but just think that they can't do it.
Right.
And I wanted to tell those stories so people could understand that, listen, we all go through those struggles. We all, have those issues. So that's how the show came about. And the brand itself just birthed itself because, people start seeing the shirts and they start saying, hey, what's LFTF? So we kind of just launched the apparel brand from there, and that has taken off tremendously.
Right.
We recently just got invited to Agenda trade show in Vegas, which is the biggest trade show in streetwear culture right now. That's a huge honor, and I'm excited about that. And so the brand itself is, I know people say this all the time, but lead from the front is just really a way of thinking. It's a mindset.
Right.
And, I know this is a sports show, and business and sports tie together so much. You know what I mean? You have to have some of the same mentalities to do both. And I always preach that anytime I'm talking to people, that you have to have that leadership mentality, or that, that mentality that you'll try things. And that's kind of what it is. I've picked up a lot of esteem with the brand. And also the show before COVID, we were doing really, really well with over 10,000 views on the first episode for season 2, and then followed that up right with a 7,000 view episode. So, the show's doing well. We just had to take a small break because I didn't want to break what we were doing with the show. I didn't want to do remote shows. That's not what we do.
True indeed.
Yeah, and I love the people. I love the feedback that I'm getting, with the apparel brand. So, if you got time, check it out, lftfshow.com. We got the episodes on there. We got all our apparel on there. We're actually doing a 25% off sale right now. So, we got a lot of stuff going on, and I really, really, it's not even work for me, as you know.
Right.
I love doing what I do, lead from the front, because it's an opportunity for me to help entrepreneurs, not just here in the city, but everywhere. So we kind of just reaching a whole level of people that are interested in getting into entrepreneurship and giving them that boost to do it. And then we just do all kinds of other things. Like we've hosted voter registration rallies. We've done life insurance seminars free. So we're just really into helping out the community and leading from the front, for sure.
Absolutely, man. You're certainly doing that and doing an excellent job, man. Mike Purdue has joined us. Mike, we're up against it, man. We got to close out. It is the fastest. I always say it's the fastest hour in sports. Today it was the fastest 3 hours, man. But I would love to have you back on because I know you still coaching, right, with the young ladies and all of that over at Start. Is that still happening?
Absolutely. I got to give back to the community for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. So again, we'll get on that on the next one. Hopefully there'll be something to speak of, and hopefully the basketball campaign can stay on schedule for our local schools and what have you this fall into the winter. Mike Purdue, man, thank you, brother, man. Again, same thing as I told Andy, man. Dion, man, love for you, man. You another brother from another mother to me, man. I thank you for coming in here today, man, making this show just a wonderful time today, man. It went so fast, and it's because of guys like you. And again, just thank you for everything you're doing, brother. I appreciate you and the opportunity that you've given Savvy Television to be a part and to grow with you, man, and to create and all of that, man. So we just honored, we humbled, man, and we look forward to having you again, and all the best to you, brother.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
No doubt. That's Mike Purdue, everybody. Again, check him out. Lead from the Front is the name of his show, LFTF. When you see that, when you see it on the shirt, you see that, whatever, that's the logo, LFTF.com. And again, don't forget Three Kings Clothings with an S.com. That's how you can see some of his original installments in terms of the clothing brand. So he's got a couple, man. The boy's bad. He's serious. So that's some people, Russ. That was the day, Russ.
That was the day.
That's what it was. Russ is over.
3
quick.
hours.
With
As
us,
we
man.
get out of here, Sav,
Whoa.
UFC 252 tonight. Closing
Okay.
things out. Closing